Today is Tuesday, March 3rd, 2020. I am Julie Hankinson, and this is the view out my window. Well, as you can see, I'm getting started a little bit later today, and it's really already dark. You can see the lights flashing out on the water. It's to warn the fishermen where the fishing or the nets that they have, where they have oysters that are cultivating in the bay. Oysters are mussels, and the fishermen, they actually plant them in nets, and they let them grow for large portions of the year in the natural waters that are flowing in and out of the area. So it's really interesting to see them sometimes in their boats, and they have on their snorkeling or their wetsuits, and they're down there, I guess, attending to their shellfish. But the fish here, the shellfish, everything is fresh. It's like they catch it in the morning and it goes straight to the store. So even fish never has a fishy smell. It's always so fresh that even if they don't sell it that day, the next day you get it and it still doesn't smell fishy, because it is just that fresh, which is really, really nice and appetizing. And while I still enjoy eating beef occasionally, I have to say, living here in Japan has really encouraged me to eat fish quite a bit more, because fresh fish is so different than the frozen stuff that we buy in the frozen food section. It just really tastes better. And I really didn't appreciate it till I moved here. But that aside, I have got a few things done today because I planned to do them yesterday before I went to bed. I always try to think of at least 3 things that I can accomplish to move myself, ahead, to up level, or to accomplish a task the next day. That way, I guess I sleep on it, and it just becomes very easy to incorporate it the next day. Even if I forget about it, somehow it pops up during the day. So I'm all into that, pre-bedtime, think about it for 2 seconds. This is what I want to accomplish, the next day. So that really seems to work for me. But otherwise, today seemed to take on a bit of a life of its own with here in Japan, all the schools have closed, but not the Department of Defense schools on base. And so it has caused a bit of chaos, because some parents are taking advantage of the Japanese schools so that their children do learn Japanese over here. So some parents are, had their children in Japanese schools, and some parents have them in English schools, or half and half, because you can do that. So it's a bit of a chaotic situation. Plus, we're all waiting for the other shoe to drop, because we are very close to Korea, and we are watching the numbers just escalate over there. And to be quite truthful, it's getting very scary watching the situation just spiral out of control over there. Our Department of Defense has completely shut down all but essential travel, which is very good. They're trying to protect us, and I really appreciate that. But it has caused a few little hiccups, and so we've had to take up the slack a bit as far as some workload. But it's totally understandable, and I really appreciate the way um, the military is handling the situation over here with extreme caution. And I have to say, though, that everyone is really nice and being very patient and waiting their turns and not beeping their horns, which is really nice. Because even today I had to wait my turn through three um, changes of the traffic light before I could even turn to get into the line to come on to base. And I get at work very early in the morning, so I can't imagine what it was later. Other people coming in, it has, caused some delays, but better safe than sorry. And again, I really appreciate how nice and calm and peaceful and patient everybody is being over here. And it's, I think that's the best way to be, because whenever people start getting angry, that's when accidents happen and people do unsafe things. So, to bring this around, I keep hearing back in the States they're saying, don't panic. And I totally agree. You need to be thoughtful and prepared and safe and logical and deliberate, and realize that when you go to the grocery store to stock up, there are going to be lines. And jamming somebody with your metal grocery cart is just going to cause an accident and hurt somebody. So we need to just take a breath, and let it out, and realize there are going to be some people who are a little bit anxious and maybe taking it out and being aggressive. And you're just going to have to be the better person and just step back and be the one that's in control and take some deep breaths and, be thankful that you have your health right now and that you have the resources to go to the grocery store and to prepare and to make preparations, whether it's buying extra toilet paper or water or restocking your pantry, whatever it is. If you don't have a lot of money, hey, ramen noodle is still good. I still love ramen noodle mixed with some mozzarella cheese. Oh my gosh, and a can of diced tomatoes. I can't remember or count how many times that's what I fed my family for dinner. Because you can make a very large meal out of a couple of packages of ramen noodles with a can of diced tomatoes and a thing of mozzarella cheese. And, every night that'd be a little bit much, but it was very flavorful and it filled a lot of tummies. And, you can find some cheese on sale and make it cheap. And you can always find canned tomatoes on sale. So I encourage you to, while there's lots of expensive options out there, since you are trying to at least make a 2-week to a 30-day pantry, look for lots of cheaper options also, the less expensive options to fill out your pantry. It doesn't have to be all expensive, you know, canned ham or something like that. There are other options that are just as tasty and nutritious and filling and um, don't break the bank. So um, anyway, I wish you all well and hope you're doing well and stay safe and remember to wash your hands. Good night, y'all.